and welcome to this week's Omsi 2 the Bus Simulator news. This week we have some news about a work in progress Manchester Bolton map, in addition to some updated news about the upcoming open top ALX400 Dennis Trident, as well as some repaints that have been released for UK buses. So without further ado, let's get into this week's Omsi 2 news. So first of all, on the Fellows from Whip thread, one of the maps we have so far neglected to mention is the Manchester Bolton map. This is a work in progress map with no release date set, so please do not ask about release dates. But nonetheless, recently some information was released about what routes will be released in version 1. So Manchester Bolton is based off the Manchester area in the UK, and as you can see here, it's going to be first of all feature 5 routes: the 500, 571, 572, 575 and 576, all running from around the Bolton area to different areas within the town. And as you can see, there are going to be 3 different operators: Vision Bus, Diamond and Arriva. Then there's also some potential routes that may be added into the update, but we shall not focus on that because that's all in a far date. Then also there's the depots that will be featured. So you're going to have Vision's Bus Depot, which is in Crown Lane, Arriva Bolton's Depot, which is found in Foles Road. You're going to have Diamond Northwest Depot, which is found in Weston Street, and those will be included within version 1. And now if we take a look onto the next thing, we here have a map that the creator has created that basically visualizes the route map and the roads that will be featured within the map in Omsi 2. It looks like a bit like the British band map if you have the box version of Omsi 2. So as you can see here, you have a long road on the northern side, and then you have the town and surrounding areas. So this should give you a good glimpse or indication to what will be featured. And if you're from the Manchester area, you might be able to discern more from this map. And here is just a screenshot of the 571, and as you can see, the map quality looks quite good. There's a nice bridge in the background. All in all, a map to keep an eye out on as it progresses in the work in progress stage. Of course, many of you are probably familiar with the open top ALX400, and this is being worked on by Brendan Cross, and also credit goes to Gaming Hydraulics, who has made the seats, as well as VTD for releasing the bus files. But as you can see here, the ALX400 Open Top is going to come with sevars. So some of the sevars here, which Brendan Cross has kindly shared on the Discord, are the sevars which allow you to basically change the position of the registration plate, as well as have an option of whether you want to have a rear view LED display showing the route number or not. So as you can see, you have 4 different variants from the left to the right. So you have 2 where you can have the registration at the top or in the middle of the back or at the bottom, and then you can have the same registration at the middle or the bottom with the LED display or without. So all in all, there's 4 different ways you can customize the back, which is obviously a nice little feature, especially for repainters. The sevars will be fairly useful. In addition, Brendan Cross has also been working on a very neat stagecoach livery with some great detail and some animals that make the bus alive and up. This is the Hop 122, so this is obviously going to be for the 122 in West Country version 3, and as you can see here, it shows you all the main attractions along the route, or maybe this is based on the real life route. And this is another thing that will be featured with the release of the ALX400 Open Topper, and all in all, it looks like a superb repaint and a nice addition to the bus. And there you can see also the seats, which were kindly provided by Gaming Hydraulics for the project. And then we also have some repaints that were released. So a rather interesting repaint rather than the usual are these driver under instruction L-place repaints for Omsi 2 Addon London for the Enviro 400 and the Enviro 200 respectively. As obviously these buses are fairly older, and the old buses tend to be the ones that are used as driving trainings, these tend to be very fitting for the use in as a driver trainer. We will probably have a video out of these buses soon on Addon London doing some driver training simulation. But nonetheless, as you can see here, they come with Stagecoach, but there's also Go Ahead London and a few other companies. And the great thing about this pack is it's only 2 megabytes in size. So, you know, well, that's a zip file. Obviously, when you decompress, it's going to be a bit larger, but pretty much it's as small as it gets with repaints, with only a few being smaller than that. And another nice addition to Addon London. Perhaps you could even add this into your AI vehicles if you want for the added simulation. So I think you can do is you can add in these these buses as AI cars, so basically you don't even have to create any routes, but they'll just drive around like AI cars, and that will just add to the experience, because obviously in London they're always training drivers, so it'd be a nice addition to have in your Addon London map. And these buses don't really tend to induce a lot of lag, although it might, of course, if they load in many buses, create some issues. So it's a bit of trial and error. Or of course you can just script that, you can use the route editor and create a driver training route, and that way you can minimize the lag or keep it to a minimum. And finally, we have a repaint that was released by Eng Guan, who, if those of you who are on the Discord are very familiar with, he makes numerous repaints, and he's part of Share Studios, which, as far as I know, includes Eng Guan and Colin McNulty, maybe a few others, but I'm not too sure. Can't really find much information about them. But nonetheless, they are a great studio with some very highly professional and detailed repainters. So as you can see here, we have a Bat City repaint for the Enviro 400 MC 10.3 meter, and it really speaks for itself. Nothing really needs to be said. It's just superb. And of course, you can get these repaints in Fellows Film, whereas the first two are work in progress. So there'll be more news as more information becomes available. And with that, that brings us to an end to this week's Omsi 2 news. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for your weekly Omsi 2 news update, as well as your weekly simulation news updates, where we talk about various things, but not just Omsi 2, but other simulators on the horizon. And of course, join the Discord to stay even more on top of the simulation and Omsi 2 news. Make sure to hit that like button. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, comment down below. But please do not ask about release dates, because that information is not available and it just gets a bit tedious. And that is it for now. Until next time. Bye for now.